Welcome back. Every now and then we reach a point where resistance is not going to help. So we need to break the bubble. And this particular week opens us to that particular opportunity where we are able to break the bubble or we will be forced to break the bubble because Rahu's entering Satabisha Nakshatra. And this is not just an intense shift, but it is about this intense shift bringing about clarity or something like that. So Satabisha carries this healing ability because it is symbolized by 100 physicians. So there is this natural healing ability in Satabisha Nakshatra. And when Rahu enters Satabisha Nakshatra, it's not just about sometimes physical healing is possible, but it's not necessarily about physical healing, but it is about healing the internal self by doing what needs to be done or breaking the obstacles. So Satabisha is ruled by Varuna, and Varuna is the rain god. And the moment rain falls, there is some kind of order that is maintained. And the moment rain is over, everything is cleaned up. The storm moves away, and things are suddenly cleaned up. So basically, we are entering in this cleansing state where this smaller inner adjustments that sometimes is forceful or unavoidable happens, and that puts us in the right path. And this is also signified by Saturn with its direct motion in Pisces, where we have to do what we have to do without any choice sometimes. So it feels like the universe is slowly telling us, like, just do what you have to do, and this is exactly what it is going to be. So Aquarius is all about society. So in society also certain problems arise, and we keep moving between challenges and solutions, but people don't rise all the time, and it is also not at the same time. But this is one of those specific windows, and it always happens in specific windows. Like, this is one of the specific windows where someone might step forward, and this is where healing and responsibility will begin to take shape. And there is this meeting of healing and responsibility, and Satabisha Nakshatra holds that particular energy. And people say that Satabisha is ruled by Rahu, which is absolutely wrong. No planet rules the nakshatra, only the deities rule the nakshatra. So understanding the nakshatras through deity is very, very important. And there is this deeper understanding that is forming inside us as a result of what is going on. But a sense that something needs to change is already there, and it's not about tomorrow, it is not eventually, but it is now. And this particular week and a few weeks following this Rahu and Satabisha is going to be really very, very important for us to make that important shift and do what we need to do and break the bubble and come out of the norm and just be extraordinary. And before Rahu leaves Aquarius, many of us will start accepting realities that we have been avoiding for a very, very long time. And especially those connected to technology, to the future. Technology is going to be the big future, that whether we agree or not. And we need to bring technology into our lives, and we have to embrace it for all good reasons. And Aquarius is not this sentimental sign. It is, it's always this futuristic version of ourselves, and what we want to be in the future sometimes is forced upon us today itself. We think that it is too early for us, but things don't arrive when they really don't mean to arrive. It just arrives exactly at the right moment. And Rahu in Aquarius is that particular moment, or Rahu and Satabisha is that particular moment that you need to grab with both the hands. And again, I want to bring in a little bit of Lord of the Rings experience. So Aragorn is who has to be the king, and he avoided his destiny for many, many years and wandered the wilderness. And he didn't think he could become a king, or he did not think of himself as a king, but he thought it was a burden, right? So, but there was a point someone had to rise, and he stepped forward. And it is not because suddenly he felt confident, and he was not also doing it because he felt fully ready, but because the time had come for him to do what he had to do. And he kind of understood that avoiding it is not going to serve him nor the entire world, and therefore he acted upon. And that is the kind of situation where we are going to be placed, especially with Rahu entering Satabisha Nakshatra. So clarity is coming whether we like or not. That exactly is the tone of the week. So healing or clarity or stepping up to the occasion and choosing not to indulge in resistance anymore. I think that is where clarity is born. That is where we break the bubble and move forward. And luckily, Mars is entering Sagittarius around this period where we are embracing what we need to do, and Mars is driving this energy, further changes the pace. And Sagittarius brings movement, and Mars brings this idea of being ready. It is about being open to trying something new or breaking free from the old ideas and exploring new ideas and taking that first step towards something really exciting. So don't aim for perfection, just aim for progress and just keep moving forward. And one more important thing is that Rahu is going to be in Satabisha, and we have to be careful not to form an attachment to the problem or to the people with whom we are dealing. Someone vulnerable might approach us to get some counsel or get some ideas or suggestions, but we should not be part of that vulnerability, and we should not be vulnerable. The codependent relationships are never going to work in the long time, and that is a little bit of a risk at this point. So it can create this connection that feels intense, but it may not necessarily be healthy. And Venus squaring Rahu Ketu, I already told that this is not the time for entering into any form of new relationships or cultivating dependent relationships. It's going to be a little challenging in the future. And for now, Mars is in Sagittarius. Slowing down or giving way for emotions is not even an option. We need clarity, and we don't need emotional entanglement at this point, especially not with Venus squaring the nodes of the moon. So the best thing to do right now is very simple. Don't feed what disturbs your peace, and do not give time to people or situations that basically drain your strength. Utilize Mars in Sagittarius to the best of your abilities and keep moving in the direction that feels meaningful, even if it might feel slow, but it is not necessarily so. So the reality is that we are moving forward, and there is some kind of an inner cleansing that is happening. So allow this courage to show up in small and yet meaningful ways.